If you're like me, you're saying, it's about time. Good morning, it's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Pete Rose, no longer banned from baseball, and neither is shoeless Joe Jackson.
Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred reinstated them yesterday, making them finally eligible for the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Now, Pete Rose, this guy's got more hits than anyone in history. Anyone. 4,256. That's more hits than a piñata at a toddler's birthday party, and he's not in the hall? It doesn't make sense.
In fact, Manfred unbanned everyone who's dead, saying, quote, obviously a person no longer with us can represent a threat to the integrity of the game.
Yeah, you heard that right. If you're pushing up daisies, you're back in baseball's good graces. So somewhere in the great beyond, there's a whole team of ghost ball players, crooks, cheaters, probably a couple guys who just stole signs for fun, all high-fiving each other like, we're back, baby!
Rose was banned in 1989 for betting on games while he was managing the Cincinnati Reds, Shoeless Joe, and 7 other members of the Chicago White Sox were banned for fixing the 1919 World Series.
Now, of course, Joe's been dead for decades. Pete passed away in September. It's a shame that neither are in the hall yet.
Pete and Joe can't get into the Hall of Fame until 2028 at the earliest. That's because their greatest contribution to baseball came before 1980, meaning they'd have to be considered by a 12-person Classic Baseball committee. That committee doesn't vote again until December of 2027.
What kind of bureaucracy is this? Is this like a government or a baseball league? They're moving slower than a knuckleball in a headwind. They got to speed this up. So here's to Pete Rose. Here's to Shoeless Joe and every other dead ball player who's finally off the naughty list. It's about time baseball remembered what it's really about. The game, the hits, the stories. Not some dusty old rule book written by guys in straw hats in the 1800s. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go bet on whether this committee actually votes them in by 2028. Any takers?
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Ziploc is being sued for claiming its bags are microwave safe. And other news about plastic lies, Madonna says she's all natural. George Lucas turns 81 today. He's so old he can remember when Star Wars was good. Michael Jordan will be a correspondent for the NBA on NBC. He's never done broadcast before, but if there's anyone who likes to gamble...
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Northeast PA's classic rock. Rock 107 Prospector Show. Kate, I hate Gus. Gus, you know Gus, the second most famous groundhog in PA?
The only reason I know him is because how much you hate him.
I hate his guts. I can't stand him. When he says keep on scratching for the lottery, I want to scratch his eye out. I know I'm not alone. I know there are other people who hate fictional characters for whatever weird reason.
And that's what we want to know this morning. What fictional character do you hate? It could be a mascot, something from a commercial, a TV show, character from a movie. Doesn't matter.
All right, so I don't like Gus.
And I don't like Ross Geller.
All right, how about the rest of the world? What do we got?
Jonathan from your Facebook said the children catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And you just had to show me a photo?
Yeah.
No.
No, you're not taking him?
Terrifying.
And he was like, I smell children. It was so creepy, man. I did not like him at all. No. Joe from Hanover on the Rock Lines. Fictional hate. What do you got?
It's that commercial where they're eating gummy bears and they have kids and they're talking like children. It's disgusting. It's like a baby talk. It's the most disgusting commercial. I'd rather put a gun to my head than listen to it. Now, I'll never watch it. I never would.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I agree with that. I hate that commercial as well, but those aren't fictional characters. It's just a weird situation.
They are so disgusting in my eyes, they're fictional.
It's just a weird construct that I don't like either.
Very passionate. Well, listen to this. I love this one. Leonard from your Facebook said, Mr. Manley.
He's a love or hate him guy. Totally get that. Got a text. Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars texted into the Rock Lines. I get it.
That hurts my heart.
Whatever.
Clay from your Twitter said, I hate the Snuggle Bear. He's so phony. He's so cute.
The Snuggle Bear is probably the cutest mascot ever. Let's go open mic on the Rock 107 app. Fictional characters you hate.
Can I just say that talking M&M from the candy commercial is so annoying? I mean, I love chocolate as much as the next person, but that character just gets on my nerves.
Kevin on the Rock Lines, what fictional character do you hate?
All right, I got a good one. Ted from How I Met Your Mother.
Have you seen that show, Kate?
But which one is he?
Ted Mosley or whatever his name? Yeah. He's not the Barney.
He's the main character that the whole story revolves around.
All right, so
But
tell me why.
He's such a whiny creep that it drives me nuts.
Doesn't like the whiny creep Ted. I can't argue with these.
I guess. Linda from your Instagram said the Liberty Bibbity guy that argues the baby. So not Doug,
Right.
the other stupid guy.
So there's Emu Emu and Doug, and then there's a whole different set of Liberty commercials where these, like, they used to do the commercials and the guys would, like, talk about it on the dock, and then they took that Liberty Bibbity guy who couldn't pronounce it because he was an actor, and they put him in another commercial where he argues with what's purportedly a 2-year-old baby. That 2-year-old baby's got the longest legs I've ever seen. It's like a baby rocket. I don't believe that at all. I got another text. George checking in on the Rock lines at Rock 107. Fictional characters I hate. 2 words. Burger King.
That one I
dude
get.
was creepy.
Yeah, I get that one. It's
Yeah.
a strange, like, waxy mask.
Yep.
TR from our TikTok said all of the mascots in the NJM insurance commercials
Right.
that are used as proof that they don't need mascots.
Yeah, so usually mascots to prove you don't meet them. That makes him mad. Brian from Wilkes-Barre on the Rock lines. Fictional characters you hate.
I don't like Kimmy Gibbler from Full House. That girl was annoying. You remember the neighbor in Full House?
Sue from West Wyoming in on the Rock lines talking about fictional characters we hate.
Hey, what about Rumpelstiltskin? He's a very opportunistic swindler.
No, I didn't think we'd be going literature here, but yeah, absolutely, man.
That works for me.
Hey, we have an educated audience here on the Prospector Show, you know?
Yes, we do.
Conversation, Kate, was just elevated by her.
Michelle from our TikTok said the Keebler Fudge Elf. He's a smug bastard.
That's shocking to me. All right.
Yeah, he looks so nice.
Yeah.
And Shelley from your Facebook said Limu Emu.
But not Doug.
I guess.
Northeast PA's Classic Rock. Prospector Show on Rock 107. And Kate, I think it's important for us as people, as a species, to understand each other a little bit better.
Well, we can take a step towards doing that if we spend a little time in each other's heads.
And we'll start with the ladies on Rock 107.
And now it's time for another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
Okay, so we have an American Pope now. Pope Leo.
And now it's time for another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
Yeah, we got a new pope, and he's an American pope from Chicago. I bet his rosary's made of bratwurst. Hey, you know, I'd go back to church if the homily came with nachos.
And that was another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
It's Barry right now. They're saying we are, for now. Penn State's playing campus roulette, and Wilkes-Barre's on the chopping block. Will Scranton become the new king? I don't know. Good morning. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107.
Penn State is recommending closing 7 Commonwealth campuses, including Wilkes-Barre, due to enrollment drops and budget issues, while Scranton receives investment as a regional hub.
Okay, Kate. This is Penn State playing campus whack-a-mole, right? Wilkes-Barre's getting the hammer. Scranton's strutting around like they just won the lottery. Enrollment's down 39%. Big whoop. Well, kids, that's not a campus. That's a flash mob.
Wilkes-Barre and 6 others face closure due to a $49 million deficit across the Commonwealth campuses. The Board of Trustees will vote soon, but closures won't happen before 2026, 2027.
Yeah, they're throwing around long-term viability like it's a magic spell. Oh, we'll make Scranton a hub. A hub for what? Hipster coffee shops? Wilkes-Barre's in Luzerne County, Kate. Folks there need that campus. Closing it's like shutting down the only gas station in town and saying, hey, bike to Scranton and bring the gas back in a can.
Penn State's promising students can complete their degrees at other campuses or online.
Don't get me started on finish your degree online. That's just TikToking with the tuition bill, okay?
The university's been hit hard by a national decline in college-age students, especially in areas like ours.
And I get that. They're serving PA by kicking kids to the curb, though. They've known about this enrollment drop for a decade, Kate. A decade. And now they're like, oh, guess we got a nuke Wilkes-Barre. How about you try marketing? Maybe, I don't know, make the college affordable. Nah, too logical. Let's just fire some professors and call it strategic.
Scranton's programs and location make it a strong candidate for investment. Still, closing Wilkes-Barre could hurt Luzerne County's economy and limit access to education for local students.
Hurt the economy? It's like a gut punch in Luzerne County's face, all right? Wilkes-Barre is not just a campus, it's a lifeline for some of these kids. And Scranton's like, hey, we're the hub now. You know what? Enjoy your crown, Scranton. Hope it comes with free parking. Penn State's out here acting like they're saving the day, but you know what? They're really just shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A woman in Houston Sierra for her cat and ended up saving her local animal shelter. Miranda Gonzalez spent a year planning her cat Holly's 15th birthday, complete with a dress and a mariachi band. Video of it has been all over TikTok, and she asked people to donate to a shelter called Almost Home Cat Haven. It turned out they were looking at closing down, but thanks to all the donations, they're suddenly in great shape financially.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107. Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather around the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Jam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
The force is definitely not with this guy. A 25-year-old man in Nebraska named Aiden White has been arrested after he attacked his 37-year-old female neighbor and her 7-year-old daughter with a Star Wars lightsaber. He first struck the girl while she was out playing with her friends. Her mom confronted him, and he hit her in the arm and shoulder with the lightsaber. Both the mother and daughter say he hit them hard enough that it was painful. Police were called, and Aiden admitted to the attack. He told cops that he's upset with the victims because his rent was going to be raised, supposedly because the victims kept a shared thermostat set too high. Aiden was charged with 2 felonies, child abuse, and second-degree assault.
Nominee number 2.
Here's how you waste a perfectly valid excuse to skip work. A 28-year-old Maryland woman is facing charges after she ignored a cop and drove through a street fair on Saturday because she needed to get to work. Her name is Kai DeBerry Bostic, and it happened in Laurel, Maryland, halfway between Baltimore and D.C. Cops had the street blocked off with yellow tape, and her BMW was on a side street with no way out. She told a cop she just needed to get through real quick, but he said no. He offered to call her a cab, but she works in Virginia, so it wasn't a short drive. She eventually got out of her car, tore the police tape, and then slowly started driving forward, even though the cop was standing in front of her car. He ended up having to move so he didn't get run over. People at the fair panicked, thinking she was about to plow through the crowd, but she never drove fast and didn't get far. There's chest cam footage of it all. She stopped when a bunch of firefighters stood in her way. Then the cop ripped her out of the car and cuffed her.
And the winner is
the woman who drove through a street fair and hit a cop while trying to get to work. You're the Yam Bag of the Day, and we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.